Right, yeah, that is certainly a good sign. I want to ask you more broadly about Israel's response as well, because usually, there's this proxy war that goes on, and Israel can direct their anger, at the proxies more directly as to not escalate the war, at least war of words with Iran. But I guess we wait to see what Benjamin Netanyahu says, because there has been some indication from those in the Israeli cabinet that they see this now. There is a declaration that this is, not a war against the proxies. They have Iran in their sights.
Yeah, well, the Israeli leader did, he called this a declaration of war. We are at war. But let's not forget, even his war cabinet is bitterly divided, as we've just learned, over what to do next and how to respond to this. The ultra hardliners want a massive response and immediately on Iran, whereas others are urging restraint, aligning with the US and other Western allies. What could be more important for Israel right now is to firm up a broad Western alliance that in some ways helps mirror this sort of axis of resistance that, as you rightly point out, Iran possesses. They have paramilitary groups in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen, virtually surrounding Israel. So Israel, yes, could retaliate against those interests, or as a former head of Mossad said, we may just bide our time and surprise them, because let's not forget, inside Iran, the Israelis have assassinated top generals and their top nuclear scientists. So there's many, many ways, directly, indirectly, overtly, and covertly, that Israel could respond.
Just quickly, Michael, do you have a theory on the timing? Because I wonder what the thinking is in the Iranian regime as well, because Israel, it still has a lot of Western support, but was on the back foot, under pressure to end the war. This seems to have extended it.
Yeah, well, it certainly has. It certainly helps shore up broader support for a moderate Israel. But also, the timing was potentially dictated by Israel, because, as Tehran would argue, they started it first on April 1, when Israel launched an assassination missile strike on the Iranian consulate in Syria, where they were targeting two top generals. And I can tell you, Israel killed the right generals. These men were overseeing these paramilitary organizations, this axis of resistance. So they really did hit the right people. But as to the timing, one could argue that Israel set this in train, in the sense that they launched that strike. Now, why did they do it, and why did they do it now? Possibly it was just a target of opportunity, that they would have been watching these generals for years, months, weeks. They'd been watching that facility and they had their moment and they took it.
Michael Ware, always good to talk to you. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.